Hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and you've got courtside seats for my review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Thwip! Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is an animation action-adventure film from directors Bob Persichetti, Peter Ramsey, and Rodney Rothman, and Sony Pictures Animation. The movie stars Shameik Moore, Jake Johnson, Hailee Steinfeld, Mahershala Ali, Brian Tyree Henry, Lily Tomlin, Nicolas Cage, Liev Schreiber, and John Mulaney. Miles Morales becomes the Spider-Man of his reality and crosses paths with his counterparts from other dimensions to stop a threat to all reality. So I was a little bit trepidatious going into this one just because everybody was saying how great it was. To this day, it still has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. The hype is real. This movie's awesome. The voice acting is great across the board. Shameik Moore is really great as Miles Morales, as is Jake Johnson as Peter Parker. I quite liked Hailee Steinfeld as Spider-Gwen as well. But the standouts for me were first Brian Tyree Henry, who plays Miles' father, Jeff. He's very funny, but he also does some really good emotional work in the film as well. There is a scene where he's talking through a door, and oh my god, I was really choked up. Nicolas Cage is ridiculously funny as Spider-Man Noir. He's having a great year between this and Teen Titans Go to the Movies, and Mandy, if you haven't seen that, it's weird. And John Mulaney as Spider-Ham was fantastic. I'm probably going to use the word hilarious a bunch of times in this video, but it absolutely applies to him. I just love John Mulaney, and I love his voice. Apparently that's my John Mulaney impression. It'll never happen again. I loved the tone of this movie. As I said, it is hilarious, and the references to older Spider-Man movies were wonderful, beautiful, awesome. But this movie is also very sweet. It's filled with heart. It's got a genuinely good message, and it finds a perfect line for blending humor and the more heartfelt stuff. Sometimes in one given line, a character will say something kind of wistful, and you feel it in your gut, and then they hit you with a joke, and that really shouldn't work, and somehow it works perfectly. And when I saw the first trailer, I straight up said, I do not like this animation. Unfortunately, now I'm going to have to eat this hat, which will take me several days of munching and snacking, because the animation in this movie is amazing. And it's constantly changing styles as well. At times it's very pulpy, and then it's got a graffiti aesthetic, and then it goes anime. It's pulled right out of a comic book page with thought bubbles, and the way the camera moves in the action sequences, just phenomenal. And the movie is not perfect. I had a couple problems with it. One of them was I didn't like some of the character designs, particularly Kingpin. Now I know in the comics, in the cartoons, he's a big, huge guy, and maybe his head is not perfectly proportioned to his body, but in this movie it was like really over the top. He's got these huge broad shoulders and this tiny little squished head that makes him look like a cross between Uncle Fester and Gru, and it didn't work for me at all. Though Liev Schreiber was good as Kingpin. And at 2 hours, this movie felt a little bit long to me, particularly because the first act takes a little while to get going. I'm not entirely sure what you would cut out of it, which is why I'm not an editor, but I do think you could pull some stuff out and tighten it up a little bit. But that's it. I loved this movie. And I know that the Academy does not often recognize superhero comic book movies, but if this movie doesn't at least get a Best Animated Feature nomination, then Hollywood is broken. It's really that good. Now, I don't have a proprietary rating system as of yet, so I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to give Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I think I'm going to give Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse a
Spider-Pig does whatever a Spider-Pig does.
out of 10. So now I want to know, are you looking forward to seeing Spider-Verse, or have you seen it so far? If you have, what did you think about it? What is your favorite Spider-Man movie of all time? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below. Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button and give it a share if you really enjoyed it. And hey, why not take a second, do me a favor, click subscribe and ring that bell to subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, entertainment news, trailer reactions, all that good stuff. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.